What's up, guys? How are we doing today? Hey Nathan, hey SLJ, hey Jacarius. How are y'all? Alright. I did not know that, Nathan, but that's cool. Wait, are we getting them, like, are they starting on, like, this week, or are they airing this week? Because that's a distinction. Like, have they already been in place for a little while now, and we're about to see their writing, or are they just going on board now and we'll see their writing in a few weeks? And also, I'm okay. I'm doing all right. How about you? I'm a bit tired, not gonna lie. I have no excuse for it either. I did absolutely nothing yesterday. And I'm sure if I did, though, I would be even extra tired today. And yeah, I've been good, Jacarius. I had a really good Friday where I got to see my boys, Calling All Captains, do a show, their homecoming show after their tour. Lots of hugs going around, and I hadn't gotten to see most of them. Calling All Captains is like, you know, all the guys in that band, they're really good friends of mine. The lead singer is actually the one who let me record my single in a studio. And, you know, the rest of the boys, they're all good friends, and it was just really good to see everyone again. Plus everyone that was in the crowd, oh my goodness. I just seen so many friends that I hadn't seen in a while, and it was just great to be kind of with everybody in that company, so it did me some good. And that was like the first night in 2 months that, you know, I didn't kind of have, you know, my dog at the forefront of my mind, and I didn't feel like I was faking it. I felt like I was actually having a good time and stuff. Also, that mosh pit was really intense. Man, like, I definitely ate shit at one point. Definitely wiped out. But I was fine, Some other people, are you saying you can't hear me? Hold on. Who can hear me, who can't? I didn't even check. Okay, I can hear me. Is the music too loud or something? Let me know. Oh, you just looked up Calling All Captains? Yeah, oh my god, they're the best dudes ever. Honestly, they're so wholesome, and they've all really been there for me over the years too, so it was nice to just get to see them have such a big moment. And like, it was a headlining show for them, obviously, because they were wrapping the tour, and huge line to get in as well. So which is never like, they do tend to build a crowd, but like the lineup was like down to the end of the street. It was before even the first band had even gone on, because obviously there's opening bands as well. Usually it's like a build-up for them, and people kind of slowly make their way in so that they can be there for Captains, but everyone was there from the jump, so it was wild. Alright, you guys can hear me, that's good. Oh, you're taking a break? I can't say I blame you, Jacarius. Oh man, there's definitely been some days here and there where I'm like, you know what? Do you need some music like that on GH? Nah, I can do without it on GH, you know? I got my life separate from soaps, and you know, of course I love, you know, pop punk and metal, but I don't need to hear it on GH. And I feel like it would probably, let's be honest, it would probably draw like the older crowd away big time, but it is what it is. Alright, sounds good. We'll see you in a bit, SLJ. Yeah, I don't blame y'all. We'll definitely be talking about some of the things I haven't been liking on the show today as well. Watching Wally Kurt as Eddie Main. Oh, you watch? See, you know what? I didn't even think. Listen, now I'm mad at myself, Kaiwan, because I told myself I was gonna binge that, and I was too tired to even binge that yesterday. I was like in and out of sleep. I think Friday really knocked me out. Like I had gone out. I'm glad you can hear me, SLJ. I went out and oof. It was a crazy night, and it didn't last too late, but I just couldn't sleep very well afterwards. And then I got up early the next day, and I think that just threw me off for the rest of the weekend. That was pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to binge that on a day off for sure. Because I really do. Like, I was enjoying the clips that we were watching last Wednesday, you guys. Alright. But now that we got SLJ back, I think we should just get into the show, right? Skip to the end around 120. Okay. Alright. Well, without further ado, welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. I guess we should get into it. Obviously, we're going to talk about the things in the thumbnail, but I'll save that for a little bit later. Let's talk about the rest of the week that was. We'll start with Willow. After weeks of recovery in the hospital and the longest time spent in stage 4 cancer in the history of cancer patients everywhere, Willow finally gets the all clear to go home. But since her immune system is still going to be vulnerable for the next few weeks, TJ advises her to create a small bubble of friends and loved ones to visit. And Willow decides that she wants to include Nina in that bubble. Michael obviously is not loving the idea, but he gets it, and he accepts that this is what she wants. Willow even invites Nina to the hospital to let her know that she wants her to be a part of that bubble, but reiterates to her that she and Carly need to make their peace, no more revenge plots, etc., etc., which of course Nina accepts. It's a shame that Willow doesn't know Nina tried to get the ultimate revenge on Carly and got her beloved Uncle Drew thrown in the slammer for 3 years instead. I'm sure when that comes out, that'll be something. Oh, man. But yeah, that spells trouble. I hope this storyline doesn't drag out as long as some of the others, man. But speaking of Drew, though, yeah, we got to see him get processed and, make his way to Pentonville. And Cyrus wasted no time getting to know him and handing him a Bible, as he would. But inside that Bible was potentially a way to help Drew escape prison. The question is, will Drew take it? And if he does, where will he go? What do you guys think? Let me know. I mean, personally, I think he'll keep whatever that thing is, whatever tool to help him break out of jail. I think he'll keep that in his back pocket in case things get bad. We obviously know that Drew is not going to spend 3 years in prison. He's just, Cameron Matheson's just shooting a movie. But it would be interesting to see if he actually escapes. But I think Drew is too good of a guy to just escape for the sake of escaping. I think he'd escape to try and protect himself if he winds up in danger. Mind you, he always talks about being a soldier. He can probably protect himself. But, I don't know. Also, why would Cyrus give him, a way to escape? What was the incentive there? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Drew's actually going to try to escape? Let me know. Also, I feel like the music is louder than usual. If you guys feel the same way, let me know, and I can attempt to turn it down a bit. I have it so low, I feel, but it still seems loud to me. SLJ said, I didn't think it was to help him escape. I thought it was for protection. Oh. Good point. I thought it was like a tool to like unlock the gate or something, or dig his way out. I don't even know. Mind you, I had only caught a glimpse. But yeah, as for Carly, she's trying to figure out how to pay off the $5 million she owes thanks to the SEC, and one idea she had was to sell her place. Sam had showed up to coddle Carly instead of ripping her a new one because, God forbid, anyone with a valid reason to be mad at Carly that's not Nina actually get a chance to yell at her. And when Carly mentions that she's going to sell the house to Sam, Sam was like, are you sure about that? This was your home for years. When you divorced Honey, this was the only thing you asked for. It's the only house that Donna's ever known. Like, all these questions for her. I don't know why Sam cares. What are y'all saying? If he escapes, he will be in prison longer. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is already ridiculous. Yeah, that's true. Nathan, you said funny that you mentioned Drew. He was mentioned in spoilers for the end of the week. For the 17th of July. Well, I'm sure, like, if he is shooting a movie, like, he's probably shot certain scenes in advance. Especially if they're all just going to take place in prison anyway. And the music is louder than usual. That's what I thought. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I have it on 2, you guys. I wish I could show you my screen and just show you how low it is. It makes no sense to me that it's this loud. I wonder if I can just, like... open volume mixer? What do I got? Yeah, like, y'all, I had it at 2. This is as low as it can go now without actually being turned off completely. So hopefully that's enough. Why would he escape when he was so explicit about fulfilling a sentence? You're right. You're right. But I think if he's desperate enough, like if something bad is going down in prison that's, you know, like actually putting him in a lot of danger, he might. Kind of like how Carly had to escape Ferncliff when a doctor was drugging her and like wanting to do electroshock therapy on her. Okay, let's see. What else are y'all saying? So, Angel, you said Sam being supportive of Carly is so weird. Their relationship has done a complete 180. Like, I know they got close after, you know, Jason had died the first time around. And so there is a, you know, a bit of camaraderie there, and there has been ever since. But this would be like a legitimate reason to be angry at Carly because, you know, her baby's father is going to jail for something that Carly did when he didn't have to, if she just if she just owned up to her part and like went to jail. And all this talk about, oh, but all these people need you. They don't need Carly. They are grown-ass adults and the grandkids, you know, they have other grandparents and people taking care of them. And just like Drew, Carly's, you know, loved ones can visit her in jail. Like, it was such a silly reason for Drew to own that, but I guess technically it was more about the behind-the-scenes aspects of him needing time off. Nathan, you said that was so disgusting, but no shock of Sam's treatment when it comes to Carly. No one can't go off on Carly these days. Man. All right. But anyway, as I was saying, like, first of all, I don't see why Carly shouldn't sell the house. It would be like an easy $5 million probably for sure. I mean, the house looks tiny. I'm sure we're supposed to believe it's worth millions though. But yeah, Sam bringing up Donna, I'm like, we don't even see Donna anyway. First of all, just sell the damn place. But that's just me. It's just a tiny unrealistic set for Mobster's house anyway. And honestly, like, do you guys remember Carly's last house? Carly's last house looked bigger than Sunny's. She should just go back to that place. I don't think she ever sold it. I'm assuming Bobby lives there. I don't know though. I have no idea. well, Bobby will live there until they, write the character out, sadly. But yeah. Yeah, like Carly's old place, it looked bigger than this one. The only difference is that this house had a kitchen with a side door that people now use to visit Carly instead of the front door, which I don't understand. Like, why is everyone suddenly like going around back to go into the kitchen to like visit her? I'm so confused about that. But anyway, Diane showed up as well, and supposedly she has an alternative idea for Carly to consider. What that is, we still don't know. They kind of left that, I think on Thursday's episode, actually. Thursday or Fridays. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nathan. Like, Carjack's house. Like, I've been assuming that Bobby lives there, or maybe Lucas. But yeah. Like, they never said that they sold it. Mind you, Jax obviously had a new place that he bought before the Robinsons owned it. Or the Ashfords, I should say. Angel, you said, I remember when Michael was showing Sonny the house when he was a kid. That house is supposed to be a mansion. Yeah. Tiny soap sets, you guys. Yeah, I don't know what Diane's alternative plan for Carly is. I'm trying to think about like what it could be, but my mind's blank. I don't really know. All right, let's move on though. Let's talk about the Davis girls: Sam, Christina, Molly, and Alexis. They all go out to get their nails did and have a girls' night at the Savoy at Molly's request, and everyone is understandably concerned as to why Molly is wanting to party instead of continuing to grieve over her lack of ability to carry a child. And Christina, she does what she always does, pries, and it works Molly up, but it at least gets her to open up a bit about where her headspace is at. And then later when they get to the Savoy, TJ happened to be there because he was seeking advice from Curtis and Marshall, and Molly wasn't thrilled. Molly's head is all over the place this week. I mean, one minute she's angry at him and accusing him of, ambushing her, which he wasn't. He was just there to get advice from, his family and planned on dipping before she got there. And in the next, she's saying, I don't want you to think I don't want you around. I do want you around. I love you. I just need a break from talking about trying to have a baby. And I actually do get where Molly is coming from. She got bad news, and she just keeps getting bad news piled on, with even more bad news after that. So she just doesn't want to be in that headspace all the time because she feels like she's losing the ability to be grateful about all the other amazing things that she does have in her life. Like her family and TJ and his family. So, I do get it. She just wants a break and she wants to be able to enjoy life and probably just create some space from all that bad news, like a bit of a time away from all that to sit with it for a while, and get back to her regular self. And then, maybe revisit it someday in the future. I don't blame her for that at all. Bring back regular Molly. This Molly is stupid. Well, regular Molly is a bit too busy, pleading not guilty to causing a big crash when she was drunk. So I feel like we're not going to see her for a while. Again, no judgment. That's just what is currently going on with the actress. And I hope that she gets the help that she needs. Truly. I think that she needs to take this time. I'm sure that if she wants her job back after she's done dealing with this, hopefully in a healthier way than, just doing what is required of her. I just hope that she's taking what happened seriously. That's all I'm saying. Seriously enough that she chooses to stay off the show until she gets healthy. But to be honest, I think that she should have probably pled guilty because she did drive drunk. So, you know. Nathan, you said maybe it's me, but the Davis girls just seem so off. Nothing against recasts of Molly and Christina. Maybe it's just the material. I mean, Kate Manzi is playing Christina with still no storytelling. Yeah, I want to talk about that, like in regards to Christina and the story that she's having. Basically, when Molly leaves the room, Christina announces to Alexis and Sam that she has a great idea. She'll be Molly's surrogate, which Molly walks in on that very statement. Another insert foot and mouth moment for Christina. But that girl, Christina, I swear to God, she actually spent most of the episode talking about the LGBTQIA youth shelter that she's trying to build and how it's a lot more work than she thought. And now she's sitting here like, and I'm going to carry my sister's child. Like, it just seems so ridiculous. Like, I don't know. To be honest, when Lexi left and they talked about how Christina was getting a major story, and the first thing that they brought up was this youth shelter that she's building, I thought that, maybe we'd actually see it getting done, and now she's wanting to be a surrogate, so I just feel like it's more of the same for Christina. But she'll just be around more, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't trust Christina to carry my kid. She can barely carry a coherent and complete thought without moving on to the next one halfway through. And this is just what it feels like again, She was all in on this youth shelter that she's going to build for the LGBTQ community, and now she wants to carry her sister's kid. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And Angie said, you can only hope with Haley, but she's tripping with that not guilty plea. Yeah, I agree. I'm like, it would have probably been better for her to own up to that. Because, like, there's already proof. You were drunk. You were tested to show how drunk you were. Like, I don't know. Sometimes, y'all. And I think if she did plead guilty, like, I don't think she would have done time in jail. I really don't. Maybe like community service or something. Because no one died. It would be better if they give her a love interest and then she's fixing up something like a Dinah girl? Huh? I mean, I'd like to see Christina in a relationship too. But I don't know. I have so much PTSD from them not giving Christina a story over all these years that I just don't expect them to do anything else. But who was it that said, it was you, Nathan, right? You were talking about how the Davis girls seem off. It's the chemistry. Like, we had so many years with Nancy and Kelly and Lexi and Haley, and they built that from like when they were literally practically kids. Christina and Molly and Sam, she was still pretty young herself, and Alexis, they have years of kind of building that bond that they had. And even though they had that bond right away, I think it's going to take some time when, like, you just had to recast both Christina and Molly, and both Sam and, both Kelly and Nancy have to kind of adjust and go with their vibe. And I think that these are pretty decent recasts, all things considered. I think that the woman who's playing Molly sounds so much like Haley, and even kind of looks like her. She's just a bit taller. And then Kate Manzi, who plays Christina, she sounds a lot like her. She just looks older, and that throws me off a little bit because she looks like such an adult now. And Lexi always had that baby face, so like, I don't know. It's a bit jarring for me too. I don't know if it's necessarily a lack of chemistry, but yeah, it's a bit jarring to see two new kids all of a sudden. But we've been there before, you know? They can build again. The new Christina and Molly don't look like Sam's little sisters. The other ones look like Sam's sisters. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like look-wise, they did great casting with the Davis girls. They all kind of resemble each other. And it's funny because I don't think that was the initial plan with Kelly and Nancy. They didn't bring Sam onto the show to make her Alexis's mother initially, right? They are just new. Yeah, you know, it's just some adjusting, and you know, on their part too, they gotta find that sort of bond and create that with Kelly and Nancy. So I don't know much about their careers prior to appearing on the show. I heard that they were great actresses, so you know, if that's the case, then I'm sure that they'll have no problem kind of adjusting. It's unfortunate that they replaced both daughters at the same time. The chemistry isn't there yet, if it will ever be. Oh yeah, I mean, the timing was pretty bad. but you know, they have time to adjust. We know that we're not getting Lexi back one way or the other. And I think it's safe to say that we're not going to see her for a while. So, if at all, if she like decides to quit. Oh man. But let's move on though. Let's talk about Brooklyn for a minute. As you guys know, she downloaded all the information about the Deceptor from Maxi's computer the other week and gave it to Tracy. Unfortunately for her, Deception's got a really top-notch IT team, and they caught the download. Lucy was actually blaming Maxi, and the two of them got into it because no one knew at the time who downloaded that information. But Brooklyn hated seeing them fight, so she actually confessed that she was the one who did it and gave the excuse that she was just trying to take initiative and plan out a social media campaign because she wanted to prove herself, you know, now that she's back in the company. Naturally, they wanted the flash drive back, so she had to go back to the house to get it, which Lucy was not pleased about her leaving it lying around. But really, she just had to go to Tracy and explain the situation, and that she needed it back and why she needed it back. Speaking of Tracy, though, Tracy's had a busy week. She was trying to butter up Martin and dangle potentially leading ELQ in his face while Valentine is out of town and Ned's obviously Eddie Manning it up somewhere, which I guess in some way debunks that she's actually working with him, which I totally thought that she was. I thought that she was. But realistically, like, they had no idea to put that kind of show on with each other. There was no one around to watch them act like they barely knew each other. And they do have a bit of a prior relationship. He was the lawyer that was involved when Tracy tried to screw Alexis over. But so I guess there's a chance that they actually are, but I don't know. And then on top of that, Tracy was also talking to Diane and said that the Deceptor hypothetically may be stolen property, but won't say much else unless Diane is on board with becoming her lawyer. Angel, you said, I just want to know who Tracy's working with. It's interesting. See, Angel, for me, I have to admit, I'm sitting here absolutely bitter that this is the story they're giving Tracy Quartermaine. Like, this is why they brought Jane Elliott back to the show, because there was so much hype about her coming back for the 60th anniversary of GH. The anticipation and how long it took before we actually saw her on our screens. Like, I was expecting a year-long story that may lead her down the path to finding Luke and maybe riding off into the sunset with him. But they wrapped up that story about a month after she returned, with Luke still being dead and her suddenly being kind of thrown into this Lucy Co story and the Deceptor story. Like, it just, I don't know, to me it's giving Pickle Lila, the Pickle Lila saga from 2013. Like, that's what I feel right now. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, they pulled Jane Elliott out of retirement for this? That's how I feel about the story. Like, I don't find it even remotely intriguing. I'm over it. At least her aspect. Martin, there's still, some interesting stuff there. Nathan, you said, something tells me Brooklyn will turn herself in and Chase will arrest her. Chase may be happy that Brooklyn took accountability, but she's a Q. She needs to be a vixen. I don't think she'll turn herself in. I think she'll get busted and it'll break Chase and Brooklyn up again for the 15th time. I think they're bringing back one of Martin's exes from Days of Our Lives. All My Children to be one of his wives. One of the actresses. That could be interesting. Nathan said, we're only seeing Tracy doing too much talking and not enough action. GH is wasting Jane Elliott's time. She shouldn't have come back at all. Yeah, they probably, lured her in with some really good pay, you know what I mean? You think this story is better than Pickle Lila? Yeah, it's probably going to be written better because Pickle Lila was under Ron Carlivati, but, it's just giving that kind of vibe where it's like, is there really a point to this storyline? Do we care about Deception and their products enough to, be, so intrigued by Tracy wanting to take over Deception? I don't know, it's just giving fluff. It's giving fluff, unnecessary story. Now, one thing that's interesting that may or may not be tied to Martin, because I guess that's still up in the air a little bit. Lucy obviously does not trust Martin. She knows that he's up to something, and she hired Felicia to do some sleuthing, so she snuck into his room at the Metro Court and dug through his garbage, and then had this really cute scene with Mac and little James at Maxie's place, where they were going through the garbage, and Felicia put back some shredded paper, which was a jackpot, because it was basically a bank statement that says or proves that he's been getting $50,000 sent to his bank account every month. But she goes back to Lucy with that information as well, and it's coming from somewhere in Pine Valley, which is, I believe, the town that was used in All My Children. And as you guys know, the actor who plays Martin was Tad on All My Children. This is stuff that I know from you guys, okay? So you know me, I only watch GH, so I'm just basing that on things that you guys have told me in the past. There's obviously a bit of speculation going around too, is Martin really Tad and all this? I don't think that's the case because, first of all, Anna would recognize him because Anna was on the show. And Anna, Anna was Anna. And Alex. Needless to say, she would notice the resemblance and would have said something a long time ago. But that's not to say that they can't do some All My Children throwbacks to be a bit nostalgic for the All My Children fans that may watch the show now. Which I think this is the case. I think they're going to end up, I think Felicia and Lucy are going to end up in Pine Valley, and they might run into some All My Children characters. Or at least some actors who played them. Tad, I believe, was the character that the guy who plays Martin played on All My Children. Maybe I'm wrong about that too. Correct me if I'm wrong, any All My Children viewers. But was Tad not the name of the character that he used to play? But yeah, beyond that, I know nothing. I know nothing about who his character was, what his job profession was, if he was married, if he had a bunch of wives. I don't know. I know nothing. Y'all have to fill me in on that part. But yeah, I just think that they're going for nostalgia here and wanting to do some All My Children throwbacks for some fans. Nothing wrong with that. As long as they don't, you know, pull what they did the last time and bring like a bunch of All My Children characters to the show. Alright, let's move on though. Let's talk about Sasha. I don't want to talk about Sasha, but we will. She had a checkup with the shady doctor who was willing to help Gladys out with paying off her debt, and sadly it involves jeopardizing Sasha's recovery by giving her some pills prescribed to her that I'm assuming are probably very addicting and might mess with her mental health a bit. We haven't seen the results of her taking the pills yet. I think we saw her take some pills, but we don't... I think it'll take a few times taking whatever that is before things start to take an effect. But I think it's safe to assume that that's where the storyline is going in order to usher Sophia Matson off onto maternity leave. If you guys weren't here last week, Sophia Matson did have another baby. The baby's been born. It's a baby girl. So we'll be seeing her off screen soon, and the only way they're apparently going to do that is to cause her even more turmoil. God forbid she just take a damn vacation and, you know, get away from everyone and everything for like non-dramatic reasons. Nathan, you said don't forget Jackson Montgomery, played by the great Walt Wiley, will be on next week. On Wednesday, I'm excited as Felicia and Lucy will run into him. Okay, cool. So will he be playing Walt Wiley? Or, I mean, will he be playing Jackson Montgomery? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, so, sorry. I got everything mixed up. So I'm assuming Jackson Montgomery is an All My Children character and that Felicia and Lucy are going to run into him. Am I correct? Sasha, poor Sasha. Gladys gotta go. I'm so mad because they had Gladys growing so much and doing so many things for Sasha and being like a good, you know, a good person for Sasha. And like even with the gambling aspect, like that, like they didn't need to have her stoop this low. And I've talked about it on here a couple times. Like, it doesn't make sense that she wouldn't just go to Sunny, given that she knows that Sunny has gotten Mike out of so many gambling debts in the past. Like, and yeah, Sunny would, like, judge her a little bit, but he would definitely help her. He would definitely help her. There's no disputing that. Ugh, it's so annoying. But she's just digging her own grave at this point. Man. Nathan, you said I love Sophia Matson, but Sasha needs to go and be free from this dump of a show called GH. Oh, man. Yeah, Sophia Matson, I mean, she's a great actress, and I've enjoyed her character overall. The only time I didn't enjoy her was when she was with Michael, but, you know, I've enjoyed her character thoroughly beyond that, so I just want her to find some damn happiness for once. God. Once Gladys is exposed, I think that's the actress's exit off of GH. Yeah, like, this is a pretty low thing to do, and she's going to become the town pariah, and she's going to have no one left. No one's going to be grateful for her. Nobody really likes her to begin with anyway. So, like, the one person that was in her corner is going to tell her to F off when she finds out. And Sunny will too, for hurting Sasha. Alright, but yeah, by the way, Sasha, she also witnessed Tracy handing over the flash drive to Brooklyn. I would have hoped that she might blow Tracy and Brooklyn out of the water, except I feel like she'll be seen as falling off the wagon again when those drugs take effect. So I'm just preparing mentally to close my eyes to, you know, for this train wreck that's gonna come. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Alright, but let's talk about Cody now. So, it looks like Cody is still working with Scott to try and claim his loss of the Ice Princess necklace, since it technically belonged to the man he once believed to be his father. The only problem is Mac is his father, and Scotty doesn't know this, which is going to put both of them at risk over money that was never theirs to begin with. At least Dante is still on his ass about telling Mac the truth. Not that Cody will budge, he just kind of brings up the mysterious summer camp they went to as kids that we don't care about, to try and shut Dante up and leave the conversation. Just another one of those stories that they've stretched out for like a year with no movement. Just like, Austin and the mystery boss. Like, I don't get why they do this. Why even mention the backstory if they're not gonna like go into details? Doesn't make sense to me. Alright, but let's move on and talk about Liz and Finn. Elizabeth still wants Finn, and Finn still wants Elizabeth, and none of them are comfortable talking about it to each other. But their friends on both sides are trying to convince them to, like, hey, give it a shot, Terry and Portia actually convinced Elizabeth to go to the Metro Court and go after what she wants, because Elizabeth already knew that they were going to be there. So she wanted to go back and try to win him back. But before that happened, we were treated to the most awkward dinner party with Chase, Brooklyn, Gregory, Tracy, Finn, and Violet, who actually got along pretty decently well. Even Tracy and Gregory. So I think that Tracy and Gregory are really trying to like bury the hatchet for Finn's sake. And I think that they're both mature enough to handle that. Trevor Boys, we're not even talking about Spencer. He's barely been on. Was he even on this week? I don't think he's been on at all this week, right? Nathan, you said, I don't like how Dante and Cody are still having the same conversation with no damn movement. No one is going to care one bit about the storyline. True. Didn't realize they broke up. Wait, didn't realize who broke up. What? I'm confused. Oh, Elizabeth and Finn, you mean? Yeah, they haven't been together, even though they're spending time together. But they never got back together since, like, the stuff with Elizabeth's parents kind of affected their relationship, in that she indirectly killed his ex-wife. Oh, Tracy, Gregory, Alexis love triangle. I don't see Tracy being interested in Gregory. Angela said, how do we go through all of June and not see Terry and Yuri on a date? Because we go through most months without seeing Terry and Yuri, period. Sadly. It is frustrating. I thought for sure we'd see Yuri a bit more, since he's... Like, wasn't he supposed to go to Chechnya with Laura and Valentine? Like, is that still happening? Because they haven't brought him up at all. Yeah, he hasn't been on. I know he's going to be on Monday, Kaiwan, judging by the previews. But yeah, like, the character is going to be exiting, but I think that they had already said that it won't really affect his time on the show or the storyline, because right now GH is on a break from shooting anyway. First of all, Travois, I talk about the week that was. I'm a huge Spencer fan. He wasn't on this week. That's that on that. I love Spencer. I'm sad that he'll be likely getting a bigger career. I've had full-on live streams about Spencer because I adore the character. So let's not talk about like you know me or something, because I don't ever see you in the chat. Moving on from that, though. Kaiwan, you said, I think the edge of them. Because you know the other show. Yeah. I mean, like, so here's the thing about that show, though. Like, it's every season of that monster show is going to be new storyline, new characters, new actors, because it's different stories each time. So it's not like he's going to, like, be a regular. Like, he could, I suppose, because Ryan Murphy, at least with like a show like American Horror Story, tends to bring actors to play different characters every single season. But and we're only on season 2 of Monster, so I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be the case here. I don't think he's gonna use the same playbook that he uses for American Horror Story on Monster. But yeah. Is it true that Sunny is the one that got shot? We're gonna talk about that actually in a second here, because that's kind of what we're gonna end the stream with. But let's wrap up. Oh, I've got one more thing to talk about before that. Okay, so let's talk about Zeke and Jordan. It turns out that despite the awkwardness of him being related to Portia and telling her that Jordan and Curtis kissed, there's still an attraction there. Jordan was having a drink with Anna at the Metrocourt pool and catching her up to speed, and it was very obvious to Anna that she still wants him, and Zeke showed up to the pool and said as much to Jordan too. And once Anna slipped away to give them some privacy, they kind of talked a bit more. Unfortunately, Portia and Curtis both showed up to the pool as well, separately, mind you, and they both seen Jordan and Zeke together. Now Anna, she slipped away to call Sunny to meet her at the pool because she had news from Valentine to pass on to him. That being trust no one. If their go-to person suddenly changes, something's gone wrong. And then not long after that, Dante, who just happens to walk into the pool area, looks at the sky and notices a gun or a sniper or something, and a shot gets fired. And that's how the show ended this past week. And many people are at the Metrocourt. It kind of reminds me of the time like the hotel blew up or the hotel burned down. Except this will probably only last a day instead of a month. But at least we got a cliffhanger Friday, folks. It's been a minute since we've got a good one. But I can only speculate who got shot. I don't read spoilers, you guys, just so y'all know. The only thing I read spoilers for is when actors are coming and going. But I don't read storyline spoilers, just so y'all know. So it's always a mystery to me. But if I were to guess, I don't think it's gonna be Sunny. I don't think it's gonna be Anna either. But I think that likely one of them is the target. Because obviously the stuff with Anna, and being kind of enemy number one in the States right now for betraying her country, like however many years ago it was, almost 40 years ago, is gonna get her some enemies. And Sunny, he's dealing with Pikeman, and someone's been trying to go after Sunny before too, so it could be one or the other. I think some people were even speculating that Curtis might have been the target, just because of the WSB kind of wanting him to be with them, and he kind of brushed them off a bit. Nathan, you think it's Curtis that gets shot? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I think it's likely gonna be one of the Ashford clan, like whether it's Zeke, Portia, Jordan, or Curtis, because they're all in there. So like the most impactful shooting, or if someone were to get shot, would be one of them, because their whole family is there, whereas like everyone else is kind of like solo a little bit. But we'll see. Pikeman looks like a Black Op type. Maybe. Come on, you said, I think whoever is helping Gladys with the medicine works for Pikeman. But the other one that has Nicholas. Oh, maybe. It's hard to say. Like, if they turn this into an Umbrella story, it's probably only going to be the thing that saves Austin's boss storyline, because it's been pretty uninteresting anyway. But if they can manage to tie the Pikeman stuff and the Austin stuff and the Selena stuff all together in some kind of way, then I would be impressed a little bit. But we'll see. Brooklyn, you said Zeke is so into Jordan and doesn't care what his sister Portia feels about it. And I agree. I mean, you know what? Like, I don't know if Portia's gonna be pissed that Zeke ends up with Jordan, because like they met not knowing who each other were, and you know, Jordan already told Portia that she has moved on from Curtis. Like that, like Curtis chose her. So hopefully Portia doesn't keep breathing down Jordan's neck when it was Curtis that was in the wrong there. Obviously she is still very angry at Curtis, but I think that you know, they're gonna need to talk about that amongst themselves. And Elizabeth, while she was talking to Portia about Finn, talked about Curtis with Portia as well. And she says, like, whatever is in the future for you guys, like, you need to talk it out. Like, you can be angry, but you need to have a discussion. So I think that's why Portia went to the Metro Court, right? To see if she could find Curtis. But yeah. Sorry guys, I'm just seeing if I had anything else in my notes. I feel like I missed something. Did I miss anything, you guys? Is there anything from the show this week that we want to talk about? Or that I missed, sorry. Also, I'd gotten a little bit distracted. Angel, you were talking about Evan Peters, who I adore, by the way. But you're right. I think he probably does need a break from the dark roles. Man, he's played so many. Like, Ryan Murphy uses Evan Peters like nothing. But how wild would it be if Evan takes a break and freaking Nicholas Chavez takes over and becomes like the new main guy on American Horror Story? I would love that, because I also watch American Horror Story. I would die if I seen him on American Horror Story as a regular, because that show like has some powerful actors that come and go every year on that show. And like, yeah, some seasons are better than others, but I've always liked that American Horror Story, like, they mostly keep the cast the same and just have them constantly play new characters. And occasionally they'll tie in other seasons and have them play dual roles, but I think it kind of just feels like theater. Like, you kind of don't think about like the resemblances of characters. You're just like, okay, well, she played her and now she's playing her again. We saw the nurse with no mask and she was on Angel. Yeah, like we got to see the nurse that was like talking to Willow about Nina and stuff. They made it seem like she was so like a part of Willow's recovery storyline, and she was on for like an episode. Evan Peters is an actor on American Horror Story SLJ. Most notably recently, you probably would have heard about him in the media from when he played Jeffrey Dahmer on the first season of Monster, which is the show that Nicholas Chavez is currently shooting. The other kid, the other guy that played Spencer. Well, yeah. So Nicholas Bechtel, who was Spencer before Nicholas Chavez was Spencer, was on the spin-off for American Horror Story called American Horror Stories, where it was every episode of American Horror Stories was a new episode. It was like a short episodic thing, kind of like, I don't know, the only thing I can compare it to is like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of thing. And that's essentially what he did. He appeared on, I think, the last 2 episodes of one of the American Horror Stories seasons. And he looks all grown up, you know. He almost looks as old as Nicholas Chavez. It's so funny. I think back to like when they recasted him, and I remember being so mad. Like, I'm like, he could play like a slightly older Spencer if they would let him. But I am so glad that we got Nicholas Chavez, you guys. Like, what a treat it's been to watch him. And like, if I'm being honest, like, that guy is so damn talented. Like, the world is his oyster at this point. And if he's already being seen by the likes of Ryan Murphy, like, you know, he's gonna take off. Whether it's with Ryan Murphy or like in a much bigger career, because, you know, he's got everything. He's got the good looks, he's got the acting skills. He could probably play, I mean, we've seen him be dark and humorous in the role of Spencer. So dude's got range, you know, like, we'll see him doing more. Nicholas Bechtel don't look like leading man though, especially for the Sabrina thing. Well, that's true, but you know, I'm just talking about where my headspace was at the time. You know what I mean? Like, I like, because they hadn't even really put Spencer in Trina's orbit with Nicholas Bechtel, so I don't know. It was I was like sad, but now I'm really happy that they recasted him and that we got like such a gift with Spencer and Trina, and it's been fun to watch them. I'm a little sad that he's moving on. It's like watching your kid like grow up so fast and like just taking off and living the rest of his life away from his family. Oh man. Even though I'm worried about Sabrina, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him too, Brooklyn. Wasn't this week that Ava and Austin slept together? I thought that was last week. Am I wrong? I feel like it was last week, but yeah, they slept together and she shoved him out the door. Oh lordy, because I remember if I talked about them at some point, because I remember saying, if it wasn't last Sunday's live stream, it was this past Wednesday, that like I would have been more interested in Ava and Austin, like before all the sudden weirdness with his character. But now he's just so shady, and I don't want Ava around that romantically. All right, guys. But I think we've talked about all we need to talk about. It's been officially an hour of the stream. So I think we should end it here. Oh, before we end it, though, Wednesday, we're going to react to some more stuff. Obviously, I think I'm going to do another poll. Obviously, one of the choices is Anna and the double agent stuff. But does anyone have another idea to, like, kind of be its competition in terms of classic reactions? I think someone had mentioned a Holly and Robert scene, but I think I don't know how I feel about that, because Holly's not on the show anymore. I typically like to react to things that pertain to characters that are still on the show, or like something that's going on that kind of involves the past history. Trying to think here, like I'm trying to think of every storyline that's going on right now. Anna and the double agent stuff is the only thing that's kind of really being focused on in terms of history, apart from Eddie May and stuff, which we reacted to last Wednesday. Oh, my children. Listen, I'm not, okay. Okay, so, first of all, well, how about Anna Devane on All My Children for this Wednesday? That could be a thing. We could take a vote. What I was going to say is, this Jackson Montgomery person, is he supposed to come this week? Because I don't, like, since we're going to actually see his character, okay, if he is in fact coming on this week, we can take a vote between Anna Devane as a double agent and Jackson Montgomery scenes, just to familiarize ourselves with the character. Not that I think he's going to have a big role. I think he's probably just a guest appearance. But I'd be down for that, because it technically, it's spilling onto GH. So if we want to watch some classic Jackson Montgomery scenes, I can put that as an option. Anna and Alex on All My Children is something that I've talked about in the past of reacting to. So I don't hate the idea. Because at one point that was the plan. I think we just kind of fell off reactions for a while, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use the Anna and Alex thing for this week, because we already have like an Anna choice. Okay, so Jackson Montgomery is coming up on this week for GH. Okay, so there we go. So I'll make that the poll. I'm going to put a poll on the community tab on my YouTube channel page. And it's going to be between Anna as a double agent and Jackson Montgomery on All My Children scenes. And you guys can take a vote on there, and whoever wins, that's what we'll react to this Wednesday. There. Done. Can someone explain who Jackson Montgomery is? See, this is why, because I don't even know what kind of character he is. I know nothing about the character, just like you, Angel. He's just a character from All My Children that will be on GH this week, because Felicia and Lucy are going to Pine Valley, which is where All My Children took place. So that's why we bring him up. But I have no knowledge on the character whatsoever, so I can't help you there. I have zero, like, nothing. No knowledge. So he's a lawyer from Pine Valley, All My Children. He's had history with Anna and Alex in the past. Good night, Brooklyn. Good night, Jacarius. Is it a good lawyer? Oh, man. Yeah, well, I mean, okay. So if he has ties to Anna and Alex, and like, maybe if the Jackson Montgomery choice wins, then maybe we'll try to find an Anna, Alex, Jackson Montgomery scene to watch. among some clips that we put together. But only if Jackson Montgomery wins. I'm still doing a poll regardless. Alright guys, but I'm going to end the live stream here. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you like this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday for whichever of the two choices, or whichever the one choice between the two we're going to react to. Alright. Have a good night, guys. Have a good rest of your week. I'll see you Wednesday. Peace out. Mwah.